Say, okay, by the way, I gotta going away. It's 20 degrees in New York, I'm headed to LA. For sure. I'm 20 feet, I'm just trying to be great. Oh my God, must be fake. She's trying to see who first.
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. To the inside, here's Ayton. Another shot. Nice move. And Ayton throws it down.
And Ayton just up over the top at his size to throw that one down.
Outside, White. Fires for three. Rebounded by Jackson. Here's George. And it's Paul George with the finish.
Well, not only looking at Paul George get up, look at the guys on the bench loving it from PG.
And he drives in. Ivey with the bucket. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Here's George. His scoring has been the engine that drives him. His average is all the way up around, 36.5 points a game. Wow. Stolen by Ball. Pushing it up. Holmgren can't hit. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Outside, White. Stolen by George. And the foul on Dyson Daniel. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Ayton. He's provided them with some scoring punch and is averaging 13 points a game. Back to Ball. Outside, George. Just 5 on the clock. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Portis.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's Ivey. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Lonzo Ball picks one up. For Jaden Ivey, the offense, Brent, looks great. Defensively, though, there's a lot to improve on.
Well, sometimes as an individual defender, you can look worse because the team defense isn't there. And so there's been sort of this reflective quality about that. But for Jaden to take on or take the next step, certainly defensively, with all of that athletic ability, he could be elite on that end of the floor. It's so important that Daniels keeps taking and making these shots. It'll increase his confidence.
To the paint. And stolen by Portis. Daniels from outside. Sinks the three-pointer. Daniels has got 6.
And just Shakespearean there, a smart read. Saw the defense was collapsing inside, so he wisely pulled up from the outside and drilled it.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Here's George. Jackson with the screen. To end the run. Ayton in the corner. And stolen by Portis.
And that's a great play on defense there. Forced him to rethink the shot and then able to come up with the steal. Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Now here's Ayton. Outside, George. Five to shoot. To the middle. And Ayton throws it down.
George out there moving the rock and figuring out where his teammates were to have success on that possession.
Here's Ivey. Banked in off the glass. He's got 5.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, and the foul on Dyson Daniel. That'll be his second foul of the game. Now George. Pass to Holmgren. Now George. 6 on the shot clock. Inside. Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
Those interior passes can be dangerous sometimes, but if the timing is good and you execute it there, you can get easy hoops.
Now here's White. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Ball with a wide open look. No good on the three. Outside Portis. And it's off from three-point range. George with the ball. He's picked up by White.
Is it getting cold in here? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
Nailed from three-point land. Ivy's got 8 points.
And if Ivy can hit that shot with consistency, it really makes him a tough cover.
George looking around. Pass to Holmgren. That ball's nice speed that time from George.
And I love the competitive edge Holmgren plays with, coming right back with his own triple.
Over in the corner, White. Back to Ivy. Into the lane. Outside Portis. Now here's Ivy. Daniels from outside. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. He's got 9.
And the defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple. Ouch. 3 fouls for him already. And now if you're the coach, you got to think about sitting him down.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
4th personal foul.
It is incredible that George is playing, Brent, at such a high level after his injury history is taken into account.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, one of the more horrific injuries in terms of the way it presented itself and what we saw Paul George go through. But this guy has not missed a beat. He continues to be really the most stable part of any organization that he's joined. And he's been in a few places. That has not affected the way that he's approached the game on both ends of the floor, and is certainly still one of the top 15 players in the game.
Jackson comes over with the double. Back to Ivy. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And a wide open look for Portis. Kicks it out to Prince. Outside, White. In the corner, Ivy with it. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. George, that's a 2-pointer. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense.
13.
They're up by 7.
Visiting team, 20.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Just stretching out the floor that first. They had the defense scrambling.
Pretty prime example here of how to space the floor and do it correctly. When you do it, that's the kind of thing that happens.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, coming out of high school at 6'0", Derek White didn't receive any full scholarship offers. He says it was humbling, but it drove me to get better. Each time you have the doubters, you just put a little chip on your shoulder. The 29th pick overall in 2017 has come a long way. Kevin, those chips are still there.
You're so right, David. Thanks. He's become a heck of a player. Outside Prince. Outside Portis. Off target from outside.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Back to George. Lets it go from deep. A rebound by Johnson.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, he's got to move on, forget about this sequence here, and try to find a way to get on the board.
White trying to get open.
Bam! Jalen Johnson taking flight.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Outside, George. Back to Ball. That Ball's nice speed that time from George. Ball's got his first 3 points of the game.
Set him up well, and you can trust Lonzo to sink that shot.
Pass to White. Prince outside. There's the double team with Walker. Just 3 to shoot. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Down low. Here's Ayton. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Ayton's got 4 this quarter. Greg, you look at the great coaches. What are 1 or 2 of the most important qualities for success that you see?
Well, for me, Kevin, I think you got to be able to adapt tactically. I mean, that's huge, and especially in the playoffs. But most important, can you motivate and unify a locker room? That leadership quality is what really puts a coach over the top.
And it's George finishing it off.
Oh, that's why we've seen PG, remember, years ago in the dunk contest. Still showing you he's got ups.
To the paint. And stolen by Ayton. Right side, George. And there's the foul to try to stop the break, and that'll be a clear path to the basket. 2 free throws coming up, and they'll retain possession. This is his second trip to the line in this one. And he knocks down the first one.
You know, Paul George, really a true two-way player in the NBA. He gives you so much on both ends, so you get all-star value offensively and defensively.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. The shot goes down, and it gets this game back to even.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Pass to White. Back to Ivy. Outside, White. Prince in the corner. 5 on the clock. Johnson outside. To the middle. And the dunk by Prince.
How about Taurean Prince getting up there and slamming it down?
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. It's George on the wing. 10 points for him. Back to Jackson. Right side, George. No good with the layup. A tight game here in Denver. They'll take on the Thunder at Paycom Center after this one. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Back to Ivy. Pass to White. Takes a 3. It's Chet Holmgren with the rebound. Well, Brent, we had to wait a year for it, but Chet Holmgren had an incredible rookie season.
And I don't think any talent evaluator is surprised at the way that Chet came in his first year and was able to contribute and sometimes dominate in the ways that he did. So coming back healthy, making that immediate impact, Chet Holmgren is going to be a superstar in this league.
And it's Jalen Johnson with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
This is one where the second foul is probably going to cost you some minutes in this game.
Right side, George. Pulls from the top of the key. And he gets the jumper to drop. George has got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Just how awesome is it to watch the best of the best start to dominate in a game.
Pass to Ivy. And now the fast break. George with the ball. They get it back.
As a big, once you get position inside, it allows you to fight and come away with a lot of tough boards.
Inside, Johnson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option. Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Here's George. Johnson with the rebound.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Holmgren with the steal. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And man, is this kid special. Holmgren showing how impactful he can be on both ends.
And here's Ivy. 1 second left. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Leading by 4. 33. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Pass to White. There's the 3. White with another miss. To the inside. And Ball slams it in.
And don't be surprised when it is that Lonzo Ball rises up like that. He can get it done.
Outside, White. To the wing right side. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Launches from deep. From beyond the arc and then some.
3.
White's got his second basket of the night.
As a playmaker, Ivy has an interesting upside. If he continues to develop those skills, he'd only increase his value.
The shot by George, wide open. A three-pointer off the mark. Ivy with it, now guarded by Ball. Now, here's Ivy. 12 points for him. For the tie, White with another miss.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Here's Ivy. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Takes it inside. And slam dunk by Ivy.
And this young guy, Ivy, is doing anything he wants right now, dominating in effortless fashion.
Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one on White.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one.
When you look at the massive hauls that have been received in the trades with Paul George, that should tell you how valuable PG is.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Paul George with the steal. With the shot. No good with the wing jumper.
No other way to put it, just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
And there's the call on DeAndre. That's his first foul.
Substitution for your home team.
Pass to Ivy. Shot clock at 6. On the wing, Daniels. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Here's George. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. And that's 19 points for Paul George.
Just tough shots just don't bother Paul George. So smooth with it when he gets into his motion.
Outside, White. He takes it in. And he gets the bucket. White's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor. Well, that equals his 3-point total from the first half. He had 1 before the break, and that's his first 3 of this half.
On the wing, Daniels. Hands it from downtown. Daniels has got 12.
Showing the range and competitiveness. Nice answer by Daniels.
Outside, Walker. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Outside Portis for the tie. Drills it from outside.
3 points.
Portis has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. George with the ball. 22 points for him. And it's Ball in the corner. There's the pick. Back to George. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. George has got 10 points here in the second half.
Now, the D has done a very poor job at contesting him from outside, guys. He's tearing into them right now, and they cannot stop him.
Portis the screen. Kicks it out to Johnson. Drops in the tray.
Jalen Johnson.
He's got 6.
Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitive.
Yeah, both teams finding ways to the three-point line and trying to take advantage from distance. This quarter belongs to him, and that's how you do it when you're out in front. Don't play it safe. Keep that momentum going.
Pass to White. Back to Ivy. Johnson the screen. Ivy with the bucket.
He's a big combo guard, and Ivy plays with no fear in there.
Outside, George. Over Daniels. And the shot is long.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. He wants to talk to his guys. .43 seconds left to play here in the third. Back to Ivy for the lead. Count it, and he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Outside, George. Here's Ayton. Off target at the rim. Here's Ivy. 19 points in the game. In the corner, Daniels. Back to Ivy. Here's White. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter.
The visiting team, 50.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Pass to George. Holmgren the screen. Lets the 3 fly. In-change shot. Ball from long range. It's rebounded by Portis. Now Ivy to the middle. And that one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Looking confident inside at 6'7", Daniels has the height to feel comfortable down low.
Outside Jackson. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Portis. Ivy on the wing. Johnson right side. Shot clock at 5. Outside Portis. Hooked away. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And here is Ball. Pass to Jackson. In the corner, George with it. The 3 buries the long-range jumper. George has got 30.
Always a formidable scorer. George just doing what he does.
On the wing, Daniels. Here's Johnson. Lets it go with a three. Daniels, no good. Pass to Jackson. Back to George. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
And here's George. 6 to shoot. Back to Ayton. And stolen by Portis.
You could stay active on defense. Good things usually happen. Right there, quick hands help alter what would have been a sure two there. Not sure which clips they watched at halftime, but he has figured out how to attack the D, and they kept him in check in the first half. He's flipped it.
And stolen by Ivy. And slam dunk by Ivy.
Great anticipation from Ivy on the steal, and then he shows off that speed.
And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He has decided it's the right time to talk. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks, guys. Got a chance to listen in on Darko Rajakovic during the huddle. They said, let's lock in, keep our focus. We need everyone down the stretch. Now his players looked engaged, so I think the message got across. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. And it's Jalen Johnson with the foul.
Third personal foul.
It's his third foul of the game.
Team foul.
Pass to George. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Well, height and length at that position for Paul George, that's problematic for a defender, and he used his size to draw the foul that time.
And George drops them both.
And he's given them a good contribution at the line tonight, getting there a lot and delivering on his opportunities.
With the drive. And slam dunk by Ivy.
Defensive foul.
And one of the best guard finishers, Ivy, relentless when attacking the rim.
Team foul.
On the free throw, no good. And George gets it to go. George has got 7 points for the quarter.
Paul George stepping up big time.
Outside Portis. Now, here's Ivy. Pass to Daniels. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
And Daniels just putting it all together right now. Keep feeding the hot hand.
Right side George. Jackson from long range. Drains the three-pointer. Jackson's got himself on the board with 3 there. Out left to the wing.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Ivy with it. On the wing, Daniels. Stolen by Jackson. And they're pushing it up. Here's Ayton. Outside for George. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Ayton. Johnson in the corner. For 3. Rebounded by Jackson.
Ooh, he missed an easy chance to put some points on the board. You won't get a much better look at that kind of shot again here probably tonight.
Outside for George. And Darko Rajakovic calls timeout. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. .112 left to play in the final quarter. Outside Jackson. Connects from three-point range. Jackson's got 6 in the quarter.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Out to White. to Ivy. Stolen by Ball. And they're moving it up. George with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Holmgren the screen. Jackson has the open look. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
Remember that one, guys, a difference maker.
I'm wondering, is that the biggest shot of the game?
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Back to George. Pass to Ayton. Money!
Well, recognizing the size mismatch and then turns it into an easy basket there. They've got to do a better job with defensive help.
Had to foul on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. The magnitude at this juncture in the game clearly warranting a timeout. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And an intentional foul right there. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
Ooh, I think that's a wrap. And I can tell you, you can't have more pressure-packed free throws than the ones that are going to seal the game.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
Well, they'll need a very quick basket out of this timeout.
A fundamental footwork and boxing out there that allowed him to rip that ball right off the rim.
The visiting club takes the win on the road. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.